Welcome back. In this video, we'll learn about the first widget in Android Studio called the TextView. TextView is a fundamental UI element that displays text on the screen. It's part of Android widget framework and is commonly used to present static or dynamic text content to the user. TextView is versatile and supports various formatting options such as color, size, style, alignment, and more. Let's create our very first text view. Let's start with the text view, or you can simply drag and drop from the palette. If you switch to the design mode, you search for text view here and drag and drop a text view. You can use this method, or you can programmatically create a text view by typing the tag text view, then moving down. You can see these two attributes are mandatory to be mentioned: the layout width and the layout height. Again, as a quick recap, attributes are properties that can set for a text view to customize its appearance and behavior. These attributes are defined in XML layout files that can also be modified programmatically in Java or Kotlin code. Let's learn about some of commonly used attributes of TextView. Layout width, I'll set it for match parent. Later on, I'll talk about layout width and height. I'll set wrap content for the height and match parent for the width. You can see that a text view appears here. Now, let's learn about the text content attributes. First of all, I'll introduce Android text. In order to define an attribute, you start by Android, colon, and here are a lot of attributes you can see, and you can define them from here. To the right, we have an attribute panel. You can set them either programmatically or from the visual editor. Android text equal to hello, my friends. You can see the text view appears here. Now let's customize the size. So set by text size equal 32 SP. SP and DP are units in Android to detect the size according to the pixels, density pixels or the SP. Android text color, I'll define, for example, red. So I put here the red. This is the hex code for the red, or you can simply change it by clicking on this color. I'll change it to green. You can see the changes take place. As mentioned before, you can set the attributes here for the text view from this attributes panel to the right. Okay, you can see there is a text color attribute here. I can change it to the blue, for example, blue color, and you can see either I can change from here or I can change from the code. The text style sets the style of the text, either normal, bold, or italic. I'll make it as bold. You can see I'm changing the color, the content of the text. Gravity sets the text alignment. Either I can make it as center, start, and etc. These are attributes specific for the text content. There are other attributes. For example, the text appearance. I can use typeface in order to set the typeface or the font of the text. For example, I'll use serif. You can see that font of the text is changed. I can use text all caps, sets whether the text should be displayed in all capital letters. I'll use true. You can see that the text is changed. Padding and margins. I can use padding to set the internal padding of the text view. So for example, padding equal 20 dp. Also, there are specific padding attributes. So for example, padding button and horizontal, left, right, and so on. So you can specify padding right 10 dp. Okay, padding here from all sides. I can set margin, sets the external margin of the text view. For example, margin, layout margin, I'll specify it as 20 dp. I'll decrease the size of the text to allow the margin and padding to be displayed. I'll make 20 SP. And if I remove padding and margin, you can see that the text will change. If I add padding, you can see the changes will take place. And if I use the margin, you can see I'm margining it from the left, right, top, and bottom. Also, I can edit the background and the border. I can use Android background, sets the background color or drawable for the text view. I can use from the colors here, or I can specify the color hex code, or I can specify another color, for example, green. This is the hex code for the green color. Also, I can edit the text handling. So I can set the type of the text input expected. Input type will specify if it is either a text, date, time, none, number decimal, password, and phone, email, and so on. I'll keep it as text.